You know, that's one of the things I keep on realizing. We all look for change, but who really wants to change? And we all have something that, well, holds us back, something that is destructive in the way we act, in our habits, in our responses. Change is difficult. It's a difficult thing, but it all begins by being able to see ourselves objectively in the here and now. That's where it all begins. We all are human beings endowed with amazing potential. A desire for love and a capability, a capacity for love, for happiness. But this is something we've never learned, because in life that we're all programmed to produce and to consume. And in a way we become passive, we become anxious, we become bored, we become depressed. There's no surprise. Because we all have been fed the illusion that life is about the pursuit of that which we want. And so that's all we do. We all pursue, we all defend, focus on achievement. I mean, that's what our educational system is based upon, but yeah, life goes definitely deeper than that, and that's what I'm here suggesting, to really explore that, to talk about that, to think about that, to contemplate on that, the meaning, the purpose of life. But again, we need to move, you got to be careful not to stay stuck in the realization, in the thinking about that, the contemplating about that. It's about what does it mean in practical terms, and how does it change your outlook in life, your focus, and how can you live more in accordance to your inner self, your true self, your authentic self. We need to face and overcome our fears, our anger towards our parents, our anger towards the system, towards the world, and maybe towards God, which we seem to blame, but we all seem to be blaming things outside of our control for us not being happy, and us not being productive, and us not being fully engaged in the process, in the active process of life, which we ourselves create. And that's something that we never learned, as we being told that life is about being successful, studying hard, making good grades, and fitting the mold. But ultimately we never really understand what life and how amazing this thing called life is all about. And to see art everywhere, to see life as poetry in motion. It's a perfect process with all its imperfection and its suffering and the war on terror. Life is really about what we create. It's about what we learn on an emotional, spiritual level. The things we learn in school just keep us from that. And how we learn about the process of gaining knowledge, how we learn about learning, and what we learn about this world. What we learn about God, which basically is that there is no God, and if there is one, this God is separate from us. And of course, the church uses that idea, that concept, to wean people, or to get people to be submissive. For us to learn that this is the way of being, we need to be submissive. It is about obedience. It's about being successful, and what it is we've been told that is success. We're not talking about the art of living. We're talking about success in life as we know it. And how we use time, or how rather we are all being used by time. Of course we can make choices of how we use our time, but then time uses us and we get settled in our way of being, in our routine, be it at work, school, with our friends, how we hang out, how we talk, how we communicate. Basically we are settled in our personality, which we just somehow have adopted. And we all look at life a certain way. We feel a certain way. And my point is that those feelings create our views, create our reality. It's just what is missing is that we're not. Is of course awareness. Is that deep knowledge of who we are and how we have become and what we have learned. That knowledge is missing. And I really found that by talking about that, we become aware of it. And for this purpose, I'm trying to bring a group together of people who talk about these things and contemplate on those things. And by doing this, we can gain this awareness. We can learn to overcome our separation, our alienation, our fears, our depression, our anxiety, whatever it is we're dealing with. If we just face that, if we make that decision,